Okay, today is December 31st, 2015. We're watching the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop, and today we see that this storm system has changed quite a bit. Instead of having a nice defined spiral, we have a core right here, which is still 961 millibar core pressure, but over here we have a clockwise rotation developing, and that is from descending air being forced down on this storm, probably from a HAARP transmitter. The entire organization of the storm has been disrupted. We can see that all through here. This yesterday was a giant spiral, a very large storm system. If you look at my video yesterday, you can see the size of the storm. It was very well organized and all the rest of it. And but today we have a clockwise rotation right here, and that is evidence of weather manipulation by man. And also, right here, we have this feature right here. This is a blockade, which is still installed in place. And everything that is running into that is just evaporating. You can see that there's nothing getting into California or Oregon or Washington. And today in California and Los Angeles, we had clear skies all day long, no clouds of any kind, no chemtrails. Currently at 10:45 p.m., we have 30.05 inches on the barometer, which has dropped just a couple of ticks since yesterday. We had 30.10 yesterday. Right now, the temperature is 40 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got relative humidity of 37% and a dew point of 16 degrees. All right. And so the big news today is that this storm is being worked on. We can see that it's all disrupted. The organization of the system has been squashed, and we're seeing the result of that descending air, which is a clockwise descending air, hot air, and that has completely destroyed this storm system, and that's how they wipe these storms out. Although it still has a very low core pressure, they're just generally destroying the organization of that system. So, and then plus this blockade is in place, so no rain will get into the West Coast for the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl festivities. All right. Now, just a reminder, these two storms would have probably dumped about 7 or 8 inches of rain in the state, and that would have filled a lot of reservoirs, solved a lot of problems for the drought-stricken state. So I don't know what Jerry Brown does all day long, but these people just aren't paying any attention. And anyway, let's move on here. We have the water vapor loop here for the western U.S. We can see the size of this storm, heavily disrupted by descending air from a HAARP transmitter. We've got heat right here between these two systems, and of course we have the blockade in place still. This was installed yesterday, and that's not allowing any moisture into the state or any of these coastal states, west coast states. We got a very dry weather, very low dew point. There's no rain in the forecast. All right, let's take a look at this in the infrared loop. And look at this feature here. This is very odd. This almost looks like it's photoshopped. There's just no movement of any kind here. That's just completely stationary. It looks like an overlay that was pasted on. I don't know how much of this map we can trust. Okay, here is the jet stream map, 300 millibar, and the jet stream is diving down just north of Hawaii and then curving back up through Baja and Mexico and out to the northeast, sort of in an east-northeast direction. And of course, we have high pressure. We've got that blockade all along the west coast. That's preventing any moisture from getting in. All right, let's take a look now at the Pacific surface analysis map. And we can see that they have that storm depicted here as 961 millibar right here, but they don't show the high pressure, the clockwise rotation that is developed in the core of this system, which is right here. And there should be a high pressure indicated right here where all that clockwise rotation is developing, but there's nothing indicated here. So this is not really accurate. We've got Still very high pressure all along the west coast with a trough right here indicated. Look at here, 1046 millibar, 1042, 1041 up here, 1023 down here. So that's forming this blockade, and that's why we're not getting any rain in California. They've shut that off. The spigot is shut off for a variety of reasons. Could be the festivities in the Pasadena area. Not sure, but they have complete control of our weather. I believe the Air Force is behind us, the U.S. Air Force. All right, let's take a look at the SSEC map. This is the water vapor map. And we can see some of the chemtrails right here, right along here. Right off California, there's a lot of aerosol spraying going on all through this moisture field. As some of this winds its way into Southern California, we did have just a slight amount of haze, and that's from this chemtrail haze moving over the region. So they're spraying several hundred miles offshore, and then that stuff dissipates, and it moves over as a haze, although it was very, very slight, but it was still there. Okay, so we know they're chemtrailing, and we know that they've destroyed this large storm system in the last 24 hours. We've got clockwise rotation here. That's very super strong evidence of man-made intervention and weather manipulation. Let's go back to the big map again and take a look at this again. You can see that we've got clockwise rotation right here, and that's as good of evidence as we need to determine that there's descending air being forced down on this storm's core. All right, we also have this blockade right here. I've been talking about that. That's blocking all this weather. So that's really the long and the short of it. No rain, and so we will post this and do another update maybe tomorrow. Until then, Happy New Year, and pass this information around to your friends and family. All right, that's it.